Boom diggity. Oh, it's a
beautiful day here in the office. It's actually not. It's really cloudy out. I'm here without Laser because he's at school. I have to actually go to class here in about 30 minutes, but I thought I'd record a little morning podcast here. It's about 9:20 in the morning, and guess what, folks? Ski season's coming up. And y'all cannot believe how excited I am, because when we started this podcast, we started last year's ski season, and we started recording in our hotel room, and now we have a full-blown office. We have a beautiful microphone that it lights up when it's on. Isn't that amazing? It makes me feel so fancy. Laser's not here, of course. He's out there improving in life, trying to do football. Recently, me and him have been going through some tough times. We both got dumped by our girlfriends, and we lost our manager. She's gone. Not dead, but just she's kind of done with this. So it's been rough lately, which is why we haven't been uploading consistently. But ski season's coming back, and it's just it's gonna be great. Other than that, I don't really know what else to say. I went shopping the other day for some athletic stuff. I got an amazing new ski jacket. It's yellow. You'll see it in the ski vlog. Ski vlog. That's what I should talk about. This ski season, me and Brendan, we're gonna strap on the GoPros, and we're gonna head up the mountain. It could be Mission Ridge. We could be going up Snoqualmie. Maybe even Crystal. We don't know. We have season passes for Mission Ridge. I plan on going on a ski trip with 4 of my other school friends to Snoqualmie, which Brendan is also going to be going to Snoqualmie on his school ski bus, because me and him don't go to the same school. So we're going to try and meet up with him from his ski bus and this trip from me and my 4 other friends. So we're going to have this big group of people, and we're all just going to be skiing around. Me and this other girl are probably some of the best skiers of the group, and we're going to be doing all sorts of cool tricks, and you guys are going to get to see that. It's going to be really gnarly. It's going to be awesome. Cowabunga it is, baby. Cowabunga. It's actually really cold. It's only November 22nd. Actually, only November. It's pretty much December, 10 days away, so it's really freaking cold. Looking out the window here, it's nothing. I don't see anything but clouds. It was actually raining earlier this morning. I got up at about 7, and it was just pouring. I went outside, and anyways, I went to Dick's Sporting Goods the other day, and I bought a beautiful ski jacket. It's amazing. Actually, no, I bought that at North Face. But I did buy at Dick's Sporting Goods a new lifting belt, because I didn't have one. I bought some lifting gloves, because I didn't have any. And I bought another shaker bottle, because here's a pro tip. If you're just getting started into lifting, make sure you have 2 shaker bottles, because I made the mistake of only having one, and when that got dirty, I had nothing to use the next day. Because if you want to get big, you got to take like 80 grams of protein every single day. So, or at least that's what I hear. So when you don't have your shaker bottle because it's dirty and it's in the washer, the next day you should have another shaker bottle so you can rotate them and switch them out each day. Just a pro tip, because you don't want to get stuck with just one. Because when it gets dirty, what are you gonna do? Also, some of my friends make protein shakes and they hate it, because I always ask them why, and they say because it tastes terrible. And I ask, what do you use as like a drink, as like a liquid? And they say water. That's the problem. Don't use water with your I know it's cheap, and I know it's easy, and if you're like that, if you're that kind of guy, then sure, you can just tough it out and take the protein with water. Especially if it's chocolate protein, then it's actually almost good. You'll cringe. Use milk. Milk tastes amazing. Sure, it takes up a lot of milk, and I go through about, I'd say, 4 cartons of milk every week. Okay, 2 cartons of milk every week, but it tastes so much better, and I do believe that there's some nutrition factors with milk. I hear it's also not very good for you to drink a lot of milk. So I think it's really good. I actually had some milk in my coffee because I like milk in my coffee. Black just tastes awful. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk a little bit more about ski season. We're coming out with a trailer for this ski season, which I think the trailer should come out, I believe, in the next few weeks, but I could be wrong. I'm still working on it. It's really good. We can't monetize it. We can't make money off of it because it uses a Daft Punk song, and I'm not quite sure how the YouTube policy works. If it gets taken down, that's fine. We'll upload another one, or we'll just not have a trailer for the ski season. That's fine. For the trailer, I used old footage from last year's ski season. And if you go to my TikTok, you can find a couple videos at Stories with Kai. I don't know how to put links in the description, but if I did, I'd put a link in there. And yeah, so I hope for most of ski season I can vlog with Laser, but we might not be able to. Holy crap, it is coming down out there. I'll tell you what, guys. There's nothing, I think I've said this before, but there is nothing cozier than being in a recording studio, looking out the window. It's raining out there. It's cloudy. It's about now it's about 10 in the morning because I just took a second ago. But it's pretty cool. If you guys I don't know what you guys are into. I'm sure you're all you like sunny skies and no clouds. And me personally, I like the winter time. Me and Laser are both winter guys. We like to hunt in the winter. We like go skiing, and I like the rain personally, especially being in here in this nice cozy office. It's raining out there and up here in the north. Feels great, I'm telling you. So I'm not gonna go too much in on the breakup with me personally. I don't know what Laser wants to do in the future. He can tell you guys the 7 times he's had his girlfriend leave him. This is the first time for me, and it was really hard. It was awful. So I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm on the grind. I've been working out like crazy, doing sports, meditating, journaling, eating healthy. I've been really just going crazy working on myself because the grind is all I have left. I don't got nothing. I don't got nobody except Laser. And Laser's pretty much all I need at this point, honestly. I'm God's lonely man. Except I'm not, because I still got my brother. And I'm an only child. Toasty bitch. Oh, and if you guys didn't notice, we're going to do this thing where a podcast like this where Laser's not here and it's just me, I'm going to put a little clip at the very beginning of the video, kind of like an intro, where it's just going to be little audio, like a 2-second audio clip from something I said. And if you hear that, it's going to mean that only I'm in the video. If you hear in that little audio clip me and Laser, it's going to mean that the podcast has both of us. If you hear just Laser's audio clip, that means he's only going to be in the podcast. Alright? Does that make sense? Cool. We're still kind of developing the flow of the podcast. There's a lot of work to do on it. But, this is probably besides exercising in the gym, this is probably my favorite hobby. Oh, and skiing. Skiing's probably number one. We're on sort of a time crunch, which is unfortunate because if we had more time, we could work harder on the trailer. But other than that, I think we're good on kind of recording. We need to record more consistently and have a good, solid plan, a way to record every single week, because Laser, he can't come to the office every single week. And as this channel grows and as we continue to make more episodes, I think that by the time this podcast hits 1,000 subscribers, I think we're going to be into probably some of the late years of high school. I'm not going to say we're at grade 1 right now, but we're definitely not elementary school. So, just if anyone was wondering. We got a couple comments from the other video, so I'm going to read off some of those in probably the next podcast with Laser. I think I should talk about what we have planned. So me and Laser, we're going to read comments. That's one. We're going to react to the comments. Basically like the Neebs Gaming commenting on comments, which is always fun. And we're going to tell jokes. That's right, jokes. Jokes are always amazing. So I think he's been doing jokes. I can't really remember. He's not very consistent with this type of stuff. But I told him to get some jokes, and yeah, I'm gonna get some jokes of my own. I got a couple good ones. I love jokes. Anyone who knows me will know that I tell them all, everyone jokes, and especially dad jokes. Dad jokes are fun, and I keep all my jokes in a database. I'm probably gonna cut that out. So we also have to do the wing challenge, but to do that, we have to find a good place to record that looks nice, because we don't guide anywhere to do that, and we need to find some sort of way to shield our faces. Maybe we don't even have to record it with a camera. Maybe we can either animate it or kind of put some visuals on the screen, like still keep the screen you guys are looking at right now, but maybe have like a heat thermometer kind of thing going on, and our reactions, and maybe put some captions, some text on there. That'll be good. Yeah, we could do that, or we could find a way to wear masks and record. The thing is, when we're eating hot spicy wings, we're gonna, like, especially me, knowing having my parents' genetics, I'm gonna be sweating like crazy while eating wings. So I probably don't want to be wearing a mask, and it will look bad anyway. So I think the best option is to probably keep the screen, just have some captions, have some text, and have a thermometer. Put some visuals up there to keep it entertaining. And yeah, it's the kind of thing that our podcast isn't a podcast like Joe Rogan where you watch for entertainment. It's the kind of podcast that you lay in bed or lay on the couch or go on a run or do anything and listen to our voices. You put your phone in your pocket and you listen. You don't watch like Joe Rogan or Barstool or any of those podcasts. It's an audio-only podcast, which me personally, I really enjoy those, because it's kind of like reading a book, you use your own imagination to kind of think about what our office environment looks like, what we're talking about. It's just like reading a book, except you don't have to sit there, and you can be active while you're doing it, which is why I think podcasts are so much better than reading an actual book itself, because it's auditory. Like, people who have a very low attention span, just like me, my mom thinks I suffer from ADHD, and I hate the word suffer because it makes me feel like a victim, and I hate feeling like a victim because it makes me feel weak, but I don't think I have ADHD, because then just while recording this podcast, I'd be bouncing all over the place, and I don't know, if it sounds like I have ADHD, everyone can go ahead and tell me in the comments. If they do, then I feel like an idiot. So, just, if you want to make me feel like an idiot, then tell me I sound like I have ADHD. I don't even know if I'm using the correct term. What was I talking about? Oh, that's right. I was talking about how podcasts are better than reading a book. Because when you read a book, you're restless, you get restless, you don't want to read it anymore, and you want to skip a couple pages, but then you lose information. With a podcast, all you have to do is sit through it. You don't have to turn pages, you don't have to look with your eyeballs. You can just listen with your ear holes instead. It's a lot easier, honestly, and you can take up good information. While reading a book, you don't, sometimes, depending on what genre it is, a podcast is typically always non-fiction, because it's real people talking about sometimes real things. I could be honestly talking about anything, but typically the podcasts I've listened to, they're always real people talking about real things. So you know that these are probably, what they're talking about are real events that happen, or real topics that you can possibly do yourself. And I really enjoy that because it's a lot more broad. Because a book is typically a story about a certain character that's probably not you. Sometimes people like to make characters in a story that are relatable, but honestly, a story is about that character and that character as a person themselves. A podcast, it's two random people talking in a way that you can relate to and you can understand, and I appreciate that 10 times more. To be honest, when you're working out, I don't like to have music. Unless I'm running, then music is great. But music is kind of a distraction. Unless I'm like listening to angry music that I've just really been enjoying lately. Any music, I like to listen to people talk while I'm working out, because then it kind of like, it stimulates my mind almost. It makes me focus more on what I'm doing, especially if the podcast, or like if I'm listening to like a Hamza video, if anyone knows Hamza, I can really focus on what the moment I am doing, because that's the thing, is the podcast, the people on the podcast are talking pretty much about you. They're either talking about themselves and experiences they've experienced, or they're talking about what you can do. Like, podcasts are really meant to educate you almost, I think, in my personal opinion. And who knows, maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about. Oh, well. So that was Education with Kai. Alright, I'm done with the education segment of this podcast. I don't think there's anything else to talk about, honestly. Let's think. What did we go through? We went through skiing. We went through sort of the rundown of what's going on in life. We went through we went through skiing. We went through situational awareness, sit rep. We went through podcast, book, topic, whatever that was. I don't think there's much else to talk about, honestly. If you guys have any topics, ideas, please let us know in the description. We love to react to things, honestly. That's probably our favorite thing to do, is react. So if anyone wants to send us a topic or comment, or hey, if you want to send us negative feedback, that'll actually help us. If you can send us negative feedback, we'd actually appreciate it, because that gives us something to talk about. That gives us something to react to. It gives us something to be mad about. And me and Laser, we love to be mad at things. Especially people. People suck. But if you guys will give us literally anything, comment, like, whatever, it gives us something to talk about. Because right now we're kind of running on nothing. You have to put gas into a car to make it drive. Cars don't run. You get what I'm trying to say, though. We're sort of trying to drive on zero fuel, and it's kind of been working, honestly. We got a weird comment a couple days ago, or actually it was a couple weeks ago. I can't remember what it said. Here, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I can't find it. I guess we might have either deleted the video that the comment was on, but we did get this comment from Nelson Mandela, which is definitely not the real Nelson Mandela. He says, I'm trying to run off memory. He said, God bless America, loving it. I think it was on the 4th of July video, because I don't know why it'd be on any other video. But we, Nelson, we really appreciate that, man, and you're probably one of our only fans. So, only fans. Yeah, we don't have an OnlyFans, and we probably never will. So, thank you for that. But, yeah, appreciate you, Nelson. If you guys comment now, in the future, we might remember you. On TikTok, we did a live stream on Laser's personal account, because he has a lot of subscribers on his personal account. And we had a little guy named, what's his face? Xander Cruz. You can go follow his TikTok. He posts Dragon Ball shit. But he was there for the whole stream, and he was kind of our little buddy. We're talking to him in the comments, because as people were leaving and joining the live stream, he was there for the whole thing. He really guided the live stream, honestly, because we'd ask him questions, and he'd respond, and it was really cool. So we need more of that. If we can get more people to comment, we can respond and build sort of a community. Just like, I know I talk about Neebs a lot, but the channel Neebs Gaming, they're great. They have an amazing community. They host live events all the time, and they're building a lot of trust between them and the viewer. And I think that's great, because that's how a channel grows. So if we can build this sense of community, we got Nelson, we got Xander. We're never going to talk to these people. We're never going to talk to them like voice to voice, but we can comment on each other. Like I can reply to Nelson's comment, he can reply to my comment, and that's how it's going to go. With Sander, it was the live stream. He commented on the stream, and we'd just talk because he's listening to the stream. That's probably the best way to go about it, because hosting a live event at where we're at, not going to happen. Even if we had only like 1,000, even 100,000 subscribers, hosting a live event in real life, not gonna happen unless you have 1 million subscribers. And if you do, that's your job. Podcasting is your job if you have 1 million subscribers. Maybe it's not. Maybe you just happen to have a lot of subscribers that enjoy listening to your hobby, because podcasting is technically our hobby. Sure, you're making a lot of money off your videos. You can still host live events, because let's say your job is you work in accounting, but you also have you have a podcast with 1 million subscribers. That the podcast becomes your side hustle. It is, when you have 1 million subscribers, that becomes a job. Whether you have an actual job anyway, when you have 1 million subscribers, it can become a career, or you can keep your current career and be making double the money. That's especially if you have a podcast, because if you're uploading like vlogs or something like that, that takes a lot of work. You need a cameraman, you need a professional quality camera, and you need to be funny. And the thing, whatever you're vlogging, it needs to be interesting, because people won't click on the video if your vlog is, we took a walk to the park, OMG exclamation point, amazed face. That no one will click on that, and that's why we try to make, here at the Ski Pole Podcast, what we're doing right now is actually really smart and no one realizes. As I said, we're really smart and no one realizes. I realized that I don't have the microphone plugged into the I didn't have the microphone plugged in, son of a... Okay, I don't care. I'm uploading this. I just hope you guys could hear all that. And I was talking very loudly, so I assume you can. So, anyways, as I was saying, people won't listen to the podcast people won't watch the vlog if your vlog is literally like just vlogging everyday life. It has to be interesting, right? I've never done a vlog in my life. I will do one for ski season. I'll do a couple. It'll be a whole series of vlogs for ski season. First person view, you won't see our faces. But what we'll be doing is a sport, which is interesting and people want to see, because especially if you're on skis and there's a ramp and it hooks people. You see, the thumbnail is you and a ramp. People want to click on it to see where it goes. Is he going to do a 360? Is he going to do a backflip? Is he literally just going to go off it and land like literally they do every time? They don't know. So it hooks their curiosity and interest. So they click on it, and that's how you get views. Curiosity. People like knowledge nowadays, okay? Those try not to laugh videos and those Vines and the TikToks, they don't get views anymore. It's all National Geographic. It's all learning. People want to know more because people are bored nowadays. So they click on these videos, and more people are uploading educational content, and people are just it's really amazing actually. People are getting so educated and smarter just off YouTube. I'm pretty sure I've learned more history from the channel Oversimplified than my history class. Like, I've taken like 3 semesters of history class, learned more in like 4 30-minute Oversimplified videos. It's amazing. What YouTube does, it can be terrible, and YouTube is very strict on content creators, but the educational stuff, you can pretty much educate anybody on anything you want. It's really amazing. If you know something, you can tell people. And I wish for some certain things, there's a lot of people out there that know a lot of things, and if they went on YouTube and educated everybody about them, let's say falconry. I'm trying to personally get into falconry. If anyone doesn't know what it is, it's a person that trains raptors, such as hawks and falcons, and sometimes even golden eagles. That's really cool. So I want to get into that. Don't know if it's entirely possible, determined by where I live, but I'm going to try. So, and I'm freaking committed. So I went on YouTube, and there's a couple falconry channels out there, but one, they're either boring because it's a guy sitting in his chair talking who looks boring and he's monotone. He gives really good information, but sometimes he doesn't talk about the right thing. Sometimes like when he talked about apprenticeship, he'd talk about how in the late medieval times you had to be an apprentice of somebody who already knows it. Yeah, we know that. That's what an apprentice is.
He just basically defined apprentice for us instead of telling us how to become the apprentice. Maybe he did that on purpose so he can lengthen out the time of the video. I know I kind of accidentally do that by going over 6 different topics that have nothing to do with each other in the podcast. Whoops, my bad. But it's interesting because it's a podcast. If I'm trying to learn about something specifically like falconry, the guy can't sit there in his chair and talk about how to define apprenticeship when I know what an apprentice is. Who doesn't know what apprentice is? If I didn't know, I'd just Google it. He defined apprenticeship, gave an example, exactly, and the example was exactly what I pictured in my mind. Apprentice is a beginner that follows and learns from the more experienced person. That's what an apprentice is. We all know. And only later does he talk about how to actually become one. And that was good information. Thank you. You didn't have to tell me what an apprentice was. But regardless, I think I was talking about learning earlier, how everybody wants to learn and YouTube is the best way to do it. Because with technology, without like platforms like YouTube and Instagram, there'd be nothing to do, because you pull out your phone and you can either text, call, and then play games, but there's nothing to really kind of sit on. There's not a strong platform to sit on. And then YouTube comes, Instagram comes, and then even later TikTok comes. And it gives us a strong, stable kind of platform for us to sit on and look at our phones all day, which is actually kind of bad. Sometimes I wish that YouTube was never created, but sometimes I'm glad YouTube's created. There's a lot of learning that can be done, just in the right time. Because if you're at a friend's house, I don't think you should pull out your phone, not once. Unless you're taking a picture or calling somebody or something, then don't pull your phone out to entertain yourself. Alright, you're there to entertain. You're there for entertainment, to spend time with that person because you're at their house. So, I expect nobody to be pulling out their phone when doing a real life activity. No matter if you're just taking a walk. If you're taking a walk through a scenic environment, enjoy the scenic environment. Take a couple pictures, but then put the phone away. I sound like my dad. And speaking of this, I'm actually getting a phone, because I had 2 previous phones. One I jumped into a pool with and it broke, and then I traded that one and got a new one, and that one got stolen. And those were both Samsungs and they suck. Now I'm getting I think it's the iPhone 12. It should be arriving either today or tomorrow. So that should be cool. And I refuse to pull my phone out when I'm walking around doing a real life thing. When I'm at home or when I'm at school or something, sure, I'll pull my phone out. I can listen to music. I can be distracted, but that's why I have it. And the school's super crazy on the no phone policy. Ugh. Here, let me backtrack a second, because I think I just went from talking about how podcasts are better than books, and now I'm talking about how phones are a distraction from the real life, which they are, especially with VR and augmented reality nowadays. Christ, it's the future, you know what I'm saying? Like flying cars, I'm pretty sure there's already a flying car. I know there's a flying we have jetpacks, of course, but I know there's a flying, like, what's it called, Hummer, or not Hummer, ATV, 4-wheeler. There's a flying 4-wheeler. There's a flying motorcycle, like those flying bikes from GTA. I forget what they're called. Suppressor, I think. Oppressor? I think it's Oppressor, whatever. That exists in real life. And that's really freaking crazy, because what we thought, you can picture the future in 2 ways. You can picture it like Terminator, where it's all crumbled and we're at war against the machines and society's collapsed. Or you can think about it like it's going to be a dystopian, or not dystopian, but you can think about it as if it's probably going to be dystopian. But you could either think about it as humanity falling or humanity rising so much that literally everything but humanity falls, and eventually humanity will fail itself, which we're already sort of doing a little bit. Humanity has climbed the mountain, and now we made it to the top, and that was a couple years ago. And I feel like now we're just at the peak, but we're sort of sliding off the mountain just a tiny bit. That's where we are right now. Because, and we notice that, we realize that. So we're pulling ourselves back up to the peak, kind of. We're trying to. We're still moving downwards, but we're trying to pull ourselves back up, and we're doing a decent job. Between the civil rights stuff, which can get out of hand, and it becomes annoying, because no, not every black person is a victim, all right? I know, I feel bad for black people, because they're constantly being babied by these liberal white people. Not to get political or anything, but it gets annoying sometimes. But yeah, equality for everybody. We're all humans, you know? Leave it at that, all right? That's where we stop, okay? We don't make the people who were oppressed, we don't make them superior to everybody else. Once everyone becomes equal, done with all that. Maintain that. Social justice, I don't know anything about any of that, and I honestly don't really care. There's a robin sitting in a tree outside the office window, and it's really distracting me. I'm gonna look at it as if I talk. Yeah, so we're trying to... I can tell that there's certain people that took all that stuff too far, but I think humanity has also realized that, so now we're sort of hating on the people that took it too far. Like the people that walk around with Black Lives Matter shirts, and yeah, we get it, Black Lives do matter, okay. And thank God we're not a big channel, because we get canceled like that. I just snapped my fingers if you didn't realize. Climate change, that stupid little girl, Greta Thunberg, I think. She's she grinds my gears, especially because she's around my generation, and I don't want our generation to be perceived as that. It's disgusting. It's not like her argument or anything. It's like, yeah, we save the planet. That's what we all want. She's just like, you ruined my child. You stole my childhood with your words. Words? The hell? Okay. She's clearly never experienced actual pain in her life, because she goes up on stage, cries about how people steal her childhood, and it's ridiculous, alright? And then she goes, and now people question her about it, and she's like, no, absolutely not. I don't think I'm this person. I don't think I'm being over... Alright, just pause, so I don't know how much of that you heard, but I'm going to pick up where I left. I'm going to pick up at probably Greta Thunberg. So, a second ago, I was just talking about how we all want climate change, and we want to stop climate change, right? We want to improve the atmosphere and all that stuff. Greta Thunberg, which is this stupid, annoying little teenage girl, is a complete brat, and she doesn't think she is, but she's annoying. She has an annoying accent, and the way she talks is annoying. Everything about her is annoying. She goes up on stage, cries about how he stole her childhood with her words. It's like, yeah, okay, people's words are gonna steal your childhood. That's great. Okay, stop complaining. Shut up. She's clearly never been in severe pain in her life. She's never hit a brick wall. She's never suffered. All she does is go up on stage and complain about how people talking about climate change stole her childhood. She's ridiculous. I'm not a hater sometimes, but she really grinds my gears, and I just wanted to get that off my chest. And if Laser was here, he'd have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. So anyways, I can't remember what I was talking about, and I don't know if there's anything else to talk about, because we started off talking about ski season, and now we're going on about climate change. So, I think I'm going to probably end it right about here, I'd say. Yeah, I'm going to end it right here. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. I'd say it's about 40 minutes long, which I didn't mean to record for that long. I gotta head to class pretty soon. I might just catch 5th period. But, yeah, I don't think there's anything else to talk about. So, I hope y'all enjoy this episode. Look forward to ski season. Stay close to us. Stay close to this channel. Keep checking up on it, because we're going to be recording a lot more consistently and uploading a lot more. We have videos ready. We just haven't uploaded them yet. All right, so stay close, stay athletic, stay fabletics, stay fabulous, whatever Jack Black said, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Boom diggity.